Hi, all of you. A very good morning. Hope all of you are in front of your systems. A very good morning, all of you. So we'll just continue with today's session. So yesterday we have been looking at file IO. Today we'll continue with file IO. हम लोग कल के दिन में फाइल आईओ देख रहे थे, आज भी हम लोग फाइल आईओ कंटिन्यू करेंगे. Content. So this is the content for the certification and the weightage also given here so that you can plan your preparation accordingly. आपको यहाँ यहाँ पे कंटेंट दिखाया जा रहा है या कंटेंट के जो वेटेज है वो भी यहाँ पे दिखाया जा रहा है ताकि आपका प्रिपरेशन आप प्लान कर सके, ताकि ये वेटेज के अनुसार अपना प्रिपरेशन करे ताकि आपको बेटर परसेंटेज आ जाए. So you prepare according to the weightage shown here so that you get better percentage in your certification exam. Once you want to get certified, you should get a bare minimum of 70%. अगर आपको सर्टिफाई होना है तो आपको मिनिमम 75% लाना होगा ताकि ये सर्टिफिकेशन एग्जाम आप क्लियर हो सके. आई रिपीट एवरीबडी, यू शुड गेट ए मिनिमम ऑफ 70%. मैं फिर से दोहरा रहा हूँ, आपको मिनिमम 70% आना चाहिए ताकि आप ये सर्टिफिकेशन एग्जाम क्लियर हो सके. एंड ये 70% लाना इतना मुश्किल नहीं है, ये बहुत इजीली आप ला सकते हैं अगर आप ध्यान से प्रैक्टिस करें और ये असाइनमेंट कंप्लीट करें और मेरे से लेक्चर सुनते रहे ताकि ये सर्टिफिकेशन ईज आसानी से आप क्लियर कर पाए. I repeat everybody, say getting this 70% is not difficult if at all you follow this course properly, listen to my lectures carefully, and then practice all the programs that are being done and also do the assignments whenever it is given so that achieving this 70% will not be difficult. So we've been working with the programming. We have been working with something called file IO. So we'll continue to do it. हम लोग फाइल आईओ देख रहे थे, उसको हम लोग कंटिन्यू करेंगे. कल के दिन में हम लोग फाइल आईओ के दो तरीके के फाइल आईओ देख रहे थे. एक था योर सॉरी तीन चीजें देख रहे थे. फाइल input output, that is standard sorry your java input output which is nothing but standard input output. हम लोग ये तीन चीजें देख रहे थे कल के क्लास में. एक था स्टैंडर्ड इनपुट आउटपुट, यानी वी हैव बीन लुकिंग एट सिस्टम डॉट इन और आउट, and also we have seen error. So we have seen this as standard inputs and outputs. So in yesterday's class we have seen three things. The first one is standard input output, which we have seen, and the second one that we have seen was file input output stream. File input output streams. We have seen this. In this we have seen file input stream, similarly we have seen file output stream. In yesterday's class we have seen these two concepts, file inputs, file IO streams, and then standard input output. And today we'll now see the third one. Sorry, we have seen the third one also yesterday. The third one that we have seen was buffer IO stream. That is, we have seen something called buffered input stream and then buffered output stream. So these are the buffered input streams and output streams. These are the three things. ये तीनों चीजें हम लोगों ने कल के दिन में देखी है. So we have seen these three things in the yesterday's class. So today we'll just look at few other streams to understand it properly. So I'll just get into the understanding of something called, today we will look at something called your filter output stream and filter input stream. We'll look at today something called your filter output stream and the filter input stream. If you look at filter output stream is a class which is implementing a class called output stream. Once you understand implements, what do you understand by implements? So when do you use this implement? When we wanted to get the interface into your usage. Whenever you want to use an interface, then you use a term called implement. Now here we are implementing our output stream in your filter output stream. We are trying to use your output stream in your filter output stream, and we wanted to use, or we wanted to implement your input stream class into your filter input stream class. So as we have seen yesterday, if you could look at, हम लोग कल के दिन में ये डायग्राम के साथ देख रहे थे, से अगर समझेंगे कि हमारा इनपुट क्लास ये है और हमारा आउटपुट क्लास है ये, you have got an input class and an output class, or you have input stream and an output stream. Now we have got your program, like this. Now this is a program that you wanted to execute with the help of your input stream. Your input stream is trying to give the input, your input stream is trying to give the input to the program, and your output stream is trying to get the output from the program. From the program you want to get it from into the outputs through the output stream, and with the input stream you want to give the input to the program. So when you wanted to do this, the primary thing that you have is your input stream, and whenever you want to send it, you have got something called output stream. So this is called your input stream, and this is called your output stream. Basically these two are fundamentals. These two, if at all you look at, these are fundamentals. With this input stream and output stream only, the remaining things are implemented. If you look at yesterday also, whenever we are using file output stream and file input stream, we were telling that file input stream and file output stream are implemented from your input stream and output stream. So जैसा हम लोग फाइल इनपुट स्ट्रीम एंड फाइल आउटपुट स्ट्रीम यूज कर रहे हैं, उसी तरह आज के दिन में हम लोग देख रहे हैं, that is called, that is called your filter input stream. Just put it in black. Filter input stream. Similarly, you to get the output, we have a stream called filter output stream. Once we let me also make this also black so that it looks uniform. So this is how it will work. Now if you could look at, as we have seen yesterday with a file IO, similarly here also your input stream is helping your filter input stream. Similarly your output stream is helping your filter output stream. This is how we have it. Now the question comes, sir, what is this difference? Sir, whenever we are using it with buffered output stream or file output stream or filter output stream, everywhere they are implemented from your input stream or output stream only. But why do you need all of this? Why do you need filter stream? Why do you need buffer stream? Why do you need file IO stream? Because everything has its own importance. Like now we look at the importance of your filter stream, filter input stream and the filter output stream. If you could look at it, it is providing a differentiation. It is giving you an additional functionality so that if you look at the additional functionality that is given in your file output stream, sorry, filter output stream, is you have the specified data being sent. Whenever you write it, the specific data is passed through the filter. Whatever the data that you wanted to pass it, you can filter it and send. That's some advantage that you have it with something called filter output stream and filter input stream. File input stream will take the data from the file. File output stream will give the data to the file. Now during that process, my filter input stream and filter output stream will work to filter or to write specific data, specific bytes to my file. It will allow me with only specific values. That is how we use something called your filter output and filter input streams. Now we write the first example to understand filter output. So to understand filter output stream, as we have been looking at, import java.io.filter input stream, or you can also get it as import space java.io.filter output stream. So basically all these streams, it may be filter stream, file stream, buffered stream, data stream, writer, reader, everything that we are looking at streams will be part of this IO only. When it is part of IO, then I need not have to import them separately. You can make it as your IO dot star. Instead of writing it separately, you can make it as IO dot star so that you can get the utilization of everything. And then we now try to look at, now we wanted to store something into a file. We want to put something into a file. When you want to put something into a file, then the first thing that we need to know is we should use something called file output stream. When you want to put some data, अगर आपको कुछ डेटा अगर स्टोर करना है फाइल के अंदर, तो आपको फाइल एक्सेस करना है. जब फाइल एक्सेस करना है तो आपको अपना फाइल आउटपुट स्ट्रीम यूटिलाइज करना ही है. There is no other stream that you can use. Whenever you want to interact with a file, you should have file streams. That is either file input stream or file output stream. अगर आपको फाइल से कुछ इंटरैक्ट करना चाहिए होता है तो आपको जरूर फाइल इनपुट स्ट्रीम या फाइल आउटपुट स्ट्रीम होना चाहिए होता है. So now what we are doing, we are giving it as file input stream fin equal to new file input stream. Now here we need to give the path of it. Now once I click on it, it gets closed. Now see, the error is there because there might be any exception. To ensure that there is no exception, I should put it in try block. Now whatever I write it, I'll put it in my try block. You need not have to write it, but we are writing it here because I am using this IntelliJ ID. ट्राई ब्लॉक में लिखने का ज़रूरत नहीं होता है, लेकिन फिर भी हम लोग इसलिए लिख रहे हैं बिकॉज मेरा IDE अलाउ नहीं कर रहा है. IDE बता रहा है कि एरर हो सकता है, तो प्लीज इंश्योर एक्सेप्शन लिखे. एक्सेप्शन बस इतना याद रख लीजिएगा, ट्राई के अंदर हम लोग कुछ स्टेटमेंट लिख रहे हैं ताकि अगर कुछ एरर आता है तो एरर कैप्चर करेगा. जब एरर कैप्चर करेगा तो एरर आपको डिस्प्ले करना है. यहाँ पे डिस्प्ले करने के लिए हम लोग एक्सेप्शन ई लिख रहे हैं और बता रहे हैं कि एरर आ गया है और बता रहे हैं कि फाइल अवेलेबल नहीं है. सो system dot out dot println and we'll make it as file not found. Right, this is how we'll make it, file not found. Got it? अभी देखो ये एरर निकल गया है. Whenever we put it in exception, the error is gone. So this is how we can make it. Now I wanted to give the path of it. See, I wanted to give 2 days. I wanted to create new file here. I will create a file. I'll call this name as my file. I'll call the name of the file as my file. Now where is this file? This is there on my desktop. When it is there on my desktop, then I should have the complete address. I should get the complete path. ये अभी फाइल मेरा डेस्कटॉप में है, इसको एक्सेस करने के लिए मुझे पूरा पाथ चाहिए होगा. जब पूरा पाथ कैसे पता चलेगा, यहाँ पे जाना है और हम लोग सी ड्राइव पे जाना है. सी ड्राइव पे यूजर्स पे नागा पीसी पे आपको जाना है डेस्कटॉप। यहाँ पे जब क्लिक करते हो तो पाथ आ जाएगा। आई रिपीट, whenever you are working with whenever you want to work with a file on the desktop, you should go to your folder. Then in the folder you can go to C drive. In the C drive you can go to users. In the users you can go to PC, and in the PC you can go to the desktop. Once you click on it, you will get the path of that particular folder. Once you copy that and paste it into your IDE, now it is giving me the double slash path. See, ensure that you are utilizing these slashes properly in your code also. And then I'll put again double slash, and the name of the file is my file. Name of the file is my file. And the type of the file, if you look at what is the type of the file, right click and go to properties. See, the file is notepad file which has an extension .txt. So that's my .txt file. So I'll give it as my file.txt. So now this is my path. I have got my file. Now as I need to utilize this file, I am using file input stream. मुझे यहाँ पे ये फाइल को यूज करना है, इसलिए मैं फाइल इनपुट स्ट्रीम को यूज कर रहा हूँ। अभी जब डेटा इनपुट देना चाहता हूँ, यानी जब यहाँ पे मैं इसको प्रिंट कर रहा हूँ ना, आई एम प्रिंटिंग इट, सो आई शुड यूज आउटपुट स्ट्रीम। फाइल आउटपुट स्ट्रीम, file output stream f out equal to, I need to give it as file output stream. So basically I want to print it. I want to put some value into that file. So I am writing it as file output stream. Now once I give it as file output stream, it is trying to give the input. My program is trying to throw the output into the file. I want to put it into the file. So I am calling it as out. From my program, the data is going out and saving into the file. I am using file output stream because I am sending the data outside my program. From my program, I am sending out, because of which we will call it as file output stream. Once I do it, then it will be stored into the file. Now to put it into the file, you can directly use it as f out dot you can write, but we are not interested in doing it. What is that we wanted to do it is, we wanted to filter the data. When you wanted to filter the data, you have an option called filter filter output stream. Now this filter output stream will try to filter out. So I'll put it as fill out equal to new filter output stream. Now whatever the file that is given to output stream, that should be passed here, which means my file output stream should be passed here. So I'll put it as file out. Now whatever the file output stream is there, that is being passed with the help of your file output stream. So the file output stream object FOT is now trying to pass the values to the file. अभी ये FOT मुझे ये फाइल के अंदर डेटा भेज रहा है। जब ये डेटा भेज रहा है तो हम ये डेटा को फिल्टर करना चाहिए। सो वो फिल्टर करने के लिए हम लोग अभी हमारा ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट किया है fill out. Now this will try to filter the data and send it. Now what we do, we just use string str equals to, I'll give it as hello students. So I am giving it as hello students. Now this is how we are giving the value of a string called str. Now as we have done yesterday, like we wanted to put them in byte array. So we'll put it as byte array b equal to we wanted to give it as str dot get bytes, so that it will convert all my string values into bytes. All these values are converted into bytes. So once all these values are converted into bytes, it can be placed into the document. To do it, to place into this myfile.txt, I will use, instead of using my fout, I will now use it as fillout dot write, fillout dot write, and I'll pass my B here. Once I pass it, now my filter is executing it. My filter is executing it and my filter is giving it to file output, though, so that the data, the filter data is there on the file. This is how you use it, fill out.b. Now once that is over, now we'll try to flush out. So whatever is already there. So once your work is finished, once your writing is finished, then you just go ahead and clear it. To clear it, we will use something called flush. We will clear that path. We'll clear that pipe of connectivity from your application and the file. So we'll clear that. Once you clear that filter, then immediately close your you should close your filter by writing it as close. Similarly, I should close my f out. I'll have to close my stream also, and I'll close my stream. Once this is over, to get a confirmation, I'm putting it as system.out.println data is inserted. Data is inserted. Now once I execute it now, see, it is all finished. Now data is inserted, which means my file is now containing the data. See, I've got 15 bytes of data. Once I open it up, see, I've got hello students displayed, which means my filtered data is now placed here. My filtered stream is pushing the data into your file stream, and file stream is trying to store the data to the file. I repeat, I will write it and show you here. What is happening here is my filter is trying to push the data, and then after that my file stream is trying to push the data so that it goes to the file. Assume that this is an output file. Now this first one, what it is doing, filter is pushing the data, filter stream is pushing the data. Now whatever it is pushing the data, it is coming to your file stream. Now the file stream is pushing the data to the file. This is the mechanism that is getting applied. This is the mechanism that is used, where your filter will push the data to the file stream, your file stream will push the data to the file. That's how with a proper channel, filter stream will give the output to the file stream. Now file stream will throw the output to the file. This is how it will work. So now I'll undo this, I'll remove it off. So this is how you'll work in order to work with something called filter output stream. As we are working with filter output stream, similarly, we will now try to look at your filter input stream also. Now we are saving the data to the file with the help of your filtered output stream. Now we try to read the value from the file with the help of something called your filtered input stream. We try to read the values with the help of something called filtered input stream. Now we just go ahead and look at the same program. Now instead of storing it to the file, as we are storing it to the file here, now we'll try to read the values from the file. As we are storing it here, we will try to read it from the file. Now we try to go ahead and see how to read it from the file. I'll take this off. Now I'll try to read this from the file. मैं अभी इसको रीड करने का कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. सो इसको रीड करने के लिए अभी हम लोगों को क्या यूज करना है, अभी राइट करने के लिए दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव यूज्ड इन ऑर्डर टू राइट द डेटा. This is what we have used in order to write the data. Now to read the data, what is that we should do? We should use this portion. We should use this portion. You want to get the data. You want to get the data from this particular portion, which means basically what is that you wanted to do? You wanted to get the input. That is, you wanted to read it from the file, which means instead of doing it this way, what is that we wanted to do is we wanted to change that portion. instead of doing it this way, what is that we wanted to do is we wanted to read it from the program. From the program, we wanted to read the values and try to display. So it can be from a file, it can be from any other source. If it is from the file that you are reading it into the program, then we can put it as from the file we are reading it into the program. Got it? This is how we do it. All right. Now we just come back and write it. We wanted to read the values. Now when you wanted to read the values, then you should use it something called file input stream, which is fin equal to new file input stream. Now you wanted to read from a path. Now see, there is an error because I should place this in the try block. So I'll put it in the try block and I'll close my try block. And once I close my try block, I should have my catch exception E. And then we open up your catch block and we'll put it as system.out.println and we'll put it as file not found. Now in the stream we need to give the path, so we will now give the path. We'll have to go to the folder, copy and then place it over here and put a slash, and the name of the file is myfile.txt. Now the name of the file is myfile.txt. This is how you have got your file. Now once you could read the file, once you get the file access, then you should give it to the filter. In order to give it to the filter, we'll put it as file input stream fill in equal to new filter input stream, and in this you try to pass fin, which is nothing but your file input stream. So I'm giving it as filter input stream, so you will give it as your file new input stream. This is what most of the time we do it. But the important thing that you should look at it over here is you cannot use it as your file input stream. As you are using it as filter output stream, you cannot use your filtered input stream here. Instead of that, we take the help of something called your buffered input stream, and in this you try to take the example, you try to take the input of fin, which is your object. So your filter input stream will try to take the help of your buffered input stream. I repeat, your filter input stream, sorry, here I have written it as file, right? Filter input stream will try to take, so I'll put it as, I'll show you, filter input stream fin. If you try to give it, it will raise an error because filter input stream cannot be created with an object like this, because it has a protected access. When it has a protected access, you cannot create an object like this. Then how do we create it, sir? How do we create an object? So we create an object with the help of something called buffered input stream. We take the help of buffered input stream to get to use your filtered input stream. To use a filtered input stream, we are taking the help of something called buffered input stream. So if you could look at, we are understanding it from with a procedure. First we have learned file input stream, output stream. Then we have learned your buffered input stream and output stream. Now we are learning your filtered input stream and output stream. Everything is connected. So buffered input stream, we have learned it before because buffered input stream has a dependency. So whenever you wanted to learn filtered input stream, you should know that buffered input stream exists. So that's how in this case, when I want to execute my filtered input stream, I should take the help of something called buffered input stream. I am taking the help of buffered input stream so that I execute my filtered input stream. फिल्टर्ड इनपुट स्ट्रीम एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए हमको बफर्ड इनपुट स्ट्रीम का हेल्प चाहिए होता है. बफर्ड इनपुट स्ट्रीम जाने बिना हम लोग फिल्टर इनपुट स्ट्रीम पे काम नहीं कर पाएंगे, इसलिए हम लोग बफर्ड इनपुट स्ट्रीम सीख रहे थे. And then we will now try to read one value. When I want to read one value, say I'll put it as int I equal to, I'll put it as fill in dot read, fill in dot read. Now this will read the values in bytes, and now that will be put in your integer value. Now whenever I want to print it, I will print only an individual character, only the first character, system dot out dot println, and here I will put it as char of my I. Now this will read my value I. So whatever the integer value that I am reading it, that is converted into character so that I can display it. Now after doing it, now I'll have to just go ahead and do it. My file should be closed. That is nothing but my fin should be closed. And then I should close my filter also, that is fill in dot close. You close all of them. You should close the input stream, file input stream, and you should also close the filter input stream. हम लोग इन दोनों को प्रिंट करने के बाद हम लोग क्लोज कर रहे हैं. जब हम लोग इसको एग्जीक्यूट करते हैं तो देखो h हमारा जो फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर है, यहाँ पे हेलो स्टूडेंट्स में जो फर्स्ट कैरेक्टर है वो प्रिंट हो रहा है. नव अभी हमको क्या चाहिए? नहीं सर, हम लोग हर बार एक ही कैरेक्टर को रीड कर रहे हैं, हमको पूरा फाइल रीड करना है, जो भी लिखा हुआ है वो पूरा मुझे रीड करना है. आई वॉन्टेड टू रीड द एंटायर फाइल. इन दैट केस this file in dot read can be given to your while loop, which will rotate till the end of the file. So till we are rotating it for the end of the file, what do we do is we will now go ahead and put it as int I equal to 0. By default we'll make int I equal to 0, and after that we will run a while loop. In the while loop we'll put it as I equal to whatever the value that we read it, that we will put it over here, that is fin dot read. Now this will read the first byte value. Now we should compare this particular value with whatever you read it, that will be placed in I, which is something like I equal to 0, and which is not equal to -1. If at all you put this, then what it will do, it will try to say if I is equal to 0, then this is what is a statement that we wanted to write it. This I value should not be equal to -1. When this value will become -1, sir? Whenever you stop reading it. Whenever you complete your reading, then the value will become -1. In that case, we will put it as I equal to whatever the value that we are reading it. With the help of what you are reading it? With the help of fin you are reading it, or fill in you are reading it? We are using filter to read it, so we'll put it as filter in. That is nothing but fill in dot read. Now this will read my value. Now once I give it this fill in dot read, whatever the value that I have it, that should be given in the brackets. Now this is the entire statement. Now whatever I am reading it, I am comparing it. If that comparison value is equal to -1, then in that case it will execute. So once it is reading it. Now once I come back here, so and then we will now come back and close it after the char. This is how we will close our while loop. Once we close our while loop, now which means once we start reading all of these values, then it will immediately print all of those values. So first read, first print, second character read, second character print, third character read, third character print, fourth character read, fourth character print. So whenever it will stop reading, it will be not equal to -1. So it will be equal to -1. When it is equal to -1, which means my file is complete. When it is complete, then I should stop reading. I should stop printing. So this is how we should use your while loop. With the help of this while loop, you will read all the values of your file and try to print all the values of the file with the help of system.out.println. With this statement, you read all the values of the file, and with this statement, you will try to print everything and see what is that you have read. Now once you executed, जब हम इसको execute करते हैं तो देख लीजिएगा एक एक करके प्रिंट कर रहा है हेलो स्टूडेंट्स करके एक एक करके प्रिंट कर रहा है एक एक लाइन में अगर आपको सब कुछ एक ही लाइन में चाहिए इफ यू वांट एवरीथिंग इन द सेम लाइन instead of giving it as println we will call it as print. Once we click on enter, see you have got all of them printed in single line. Now this is how you can have your values getting printed. Hope I am clear with this. So this is how you can have your values read from the file and printed in the output. ऐसा करके हम लोग values को read करके वो values को print कर सकते हैं. अभी हम लोगों ने नया चीज एक देखा है आज के दिन में. If you could look at the fourth stream that we have seen today is your filter input stream, or we'll call it as filter IO, filter IO stream, and which is given as your filter input stream, and then you have got something called filter output stream. So this is how we have got your new one that we have learned today, that is your filter IO stream. As we have filter IO stream, we have another important stream that is available called your data streams, that is your data input stream and your data output stream. We जैसा हमारा we have got your file filter input stream and filter output stream. Similarly, we have the next one called your data IO stream, which will again have something called data input stream, and you will have data output stream. This is how we use your data IO stream. Now we look at this data IO stream. So as we were working with, if you get into the paint, we'll undo this. As we were working with filter output stream, similarly we have your data input stream and data output stream. So if you could look at the first example that we will look at with something called data output stream. We will now talk about something called data output stream. When you are talking with data output stream, now data output stream is a class in Java which allows an application to work with only primitive data types. I repeat, data output stream or data input stream will allow any application to work with or to engage with something called your primitive data types of Java. Sir, what are primitive data types of Java? So primitive data types of Java are your int, float, whatever we have seen in the data types. All those are nothing but your primitive data types. So whatever the data types that we have seen, all those data types are only allowed, which means this particular input output stream, that is data input output stream, is machine dependent. If the machine doesn't allow the data type, then this particular stream cannot be utilized. I repeat, this particular data input and output stream are machine independent. So if at all you look at this will not bother on whether that machine is allowing, that machine is not allowing. You don't bother on. You only bother on what Java is allowing. Java is allowing me my integer data type, so this stream will allow. My Java will allow my float data type, then this particular stream will allow. So the data type that we are passing it here should be your standard data type. So your primitive data type. So whatever the primitive data type that you are using it, only that value is being passed. So you cannot pass something called your your user derived or user defined data types cannot be passed through this particular data stream. So which means instead of using filter input stream and filter output stream, now we use something called, now instead of using your filtered input stream and filtered output stream, now we will use something called data input stream and data output stream. So this one will be data input stream and this will be my data output stream. And as I've been telling you, for everything, the support is obtained from your input stream and output stream only. So as I wanted to use it in my program, I'll just take off this. Now we'll try to look at. Now import java dot io dot, what is that we wanted to use it? Data input stream. Similarly, we have got something called your data output stream, that is import import java dot io dot data output stream. Now these two are part of IO only. So as these two are part of IO, I need not have to write it. I can write it as IO dot star. Now we'll try to utilize our data streams. Whenever we wanted to use any file, then immediately we need to have file stream. If you want to use files, then you should have file streams available. Now I want to put some data to the file. Now I'll create a new file and call this file as, I'm sorry, I'll take this off. I'll create a new file, new text file. I'll call the name of the file as data file. I'll call the file as data file. All right. Now we have got the data file here. Now we'll try to put some data here. To add some data to the file, you should have something called file input stream. When you want to have file input stream, my IntelliJ IDE will not allow it directly. So what is that we should do? We should put it in try. In the try, now I'll write it as file input stream fin equal to new, sorry, we wanted to put the data to the file. So when you want to put the data to the file, you should use file output stream. File output stream fout equal to new file output stream. Now you want to give the path of it. Once you want to give the path of it, then what is that you should do? You should go ahead and put it as, go to your folder, so go to your C drive, users, my name of the user, and then you should go to your desktop. Once you select on this, once you select on this and paste it over here, once I make it like this, again double slashes, then the name of the file was data file dot txt. Once we look at the name, it is data file dot txt. Now this is the name of the file, and see, it is still raising an error because for the try block I should create my catch block, and in the catch block I should give it as exception e, and then we will put it as system dot out dot println. We will write it as file not found. All right, now there is no error, we can just continue now. Now here we have created something called your file output stream. Now we'll try to get the utilization of data output stream, ds out equal to new data output stream. And in this, I wanted to pass my file out, that is f out. Once I pass it, now the data is passed through data output stream, and the data output stream will pass the data to the file output stream. So the data will be passed to the data output stream, and the data output stream will pass the data to the file output stream. Now we wanted to write the values. When you wanted to write the values, you should use ds out dot write. Now I'm using ds out dot write in order to write the value. Now when I give it as 65, then see it is giving byte. Similarly, if at all you wanted to give your required value, say now we'll run this and see, then I'll explain it to you. ds out dot your flush, then it will get your stream being flushed, which means it will clear. And after that we will now close our file out also, which is file out dot. So first we'll have to close ds out dot close, so ds out dot close, and after that we will close your file out, that is f out dot close. So this is how we close the values. Now we are writing a value called 65. Once we run this, we'll also see whether it is inserted or not. So we'll put it as system.out.println. We'll put it as inserted. Right? We'll now execute this, which is inserted, which means it is properly placed. Once you open it up, see A. Character A is getting printed because of the ASCII value. Alright. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to print my data type. So I will now put it as write int, then I'll give it as 65. So it becomes, see, earlier it was showing you as your value. Once you make it as write, see it is showing you as a B value. So once you just go ahead and look at this, then it is giving you a current method with byte values. Once I make it as int, then see it is considering it as int variable. Now once I make it int, then it is considering it as 65 as a variable. Now once I run this, the value is inserted. Now once we come back and look at it, see the value, if you could look at, I've got my A value, which I've got it. So I'll just take this off. I will now go and show you with another file. Say I will call my another file new, which is data file 1. Now I'll give the file name as data file 1.txt. Now once I run this, see once I open it up, see I have got the character A, which is given with some space. Now once I take this off, once I put it as only write and then execute it, once I just come back and look at it, it is using it as A. So what is that it is happening over here is it is trying to convert the value with respect to your data types. It is taking some memory allocation to convert it. So whenever I am giving it as write int, it is trying to convert it. It is trying to give it as your existing value, but it is considering it as write int. Similarly, if you look at if you look at putting it as write in, now we'll try to look at the output. See, whatever the value that is being inserted, I'll just close this, open it up. See, you have got some space of it. Similarly, once you just come back here and give it as only write and then execute it. Now it is considering it as byte directly. It is giving as only byte. So you understand the difference in the data type is obtained. The difference in the data type is being captured. This is how you will work with something called your data streams. The data stream will specifically work on the primitive data types. Whatever the data type that your Java is supporting, the primitive data types of Java is being considered. So which is irrespective or which is independent of the platform that is being used. It can work on any of the platforms. That's an advantage of using something called data output stream, or the data streams, that is data input stream and the data output stream. Now we'll try to look at the same example. Now we'll try to look at the same example with something called your data input stream. Till now we have seen something called data output stream. Now we'll try to see something called data input stream. Once we wanted to look at data input stream, in the first thing we wanted to read the data from the file. When you want to read the data from the file, then obviously you can use your file readers. So you can use your file readers or file streams. So what I'll do, I'll put it as file input stream fin equal to new file input stream, and here you give the path. Now there is an error because there might be an exception, so you should put this in try block and then close my try block. Now you should give it as catch exception e, and then we'll give it as system dot out dot println. We'll put it as file not found. So this is how we write it. Now after that we give the path. So we go ahead and copy the path here. So I wanted to use a similar files for data files. So I'll pick it up and place it over here. And after that I'll put it as data file dot txt. Now this is the value that I wanted to read it. When I wanted to read it, then I should read it through something called data input stream. When I wanted to read that, I will read it with the help of data input stream. So I'll put it as data input stream ds in equal to new data input stream. I will put it as fin. So this is how you read your values. You read your values with the help of this stream, this input stream. Now after that you just go ahead and give it as I want to get the value. So I'll now go ahead and try to get the value, and I want to see what is there in my existing file. So in order to get it, I'll now just go ahead and put it int I equals to dsn dot read. Once I give it, then it will read my value. Now to go ahead and print it, I'll have to print it as system dot out dot println, and then I can convert that into char of, you can put it as character as you wanted to convert it into character. You will put it as character of I. This is how you read the values with the help of your data input stream. Now once you execute it, then it is now reading the value, but the value is empty. Why it is empty? because my file has the first character being empty. Assume that I've come here and saved it. Now once I come here and execute this, see, you will get an output A. So this is how you can get the characters. Now if you wanted to see whether the whenever you were converting it, say whenever you are converting it, I've told you because of primitive types it is giving some space, it is giving some memory. So now we need to really count whether there is a value existing or not. You wanted to see whether the value is available or not. In that case, you can get it with the help of your count also. You can count and get the values of that particular characters that are given as an input. To do that, you can use the count feature or you can use a variable count and try to get the values, so that you can get it with the help of something called your file stream. The file stream will give you the available data. Whatever it is available, that can be obtained with the help of something called your file stream, right? So this is how you can work with something called data streams. So you have data streams where it will use the data input stream and the data output stream. So with this, we complete the two streams called your file input output stream and data input output stream. This is how we are working with multiple streams right now. We will look at two more streams which are very important for us. That is, we will just look about your reader and writer, and we will look at your buffer reader and buffer writer. With that, we finish off streams. Now in tomorrow's class we will try to look at your basic random accessing of file and all of that, and we'll finish off files tomorrow, right? So guys, now it is already 12:30, so we'll take a break of 5 minutes and we'll connect back in next 5 minutes. I repeat, it's already 1 hour, so we'll take a break of 5 minutes, and in this 5 minutes all of us will give our attendance in Kaisala group. I repeat, everybody will give our attendance in respective Kaisala group. सबको निवेदन है कि अपने अपने कैजला ग्रुप में अटेंडेंस दे दे, और हम लोग 5 मिनट का ब्रेक लेते हैं, ब्रेक के बाद फिर से मिलते हैं और दो तरह के स्ट्रीमर्स देख लेते हैं. थैंक यू सो मच. Hi students, welcome back. So we'll just continue with the remaining streams. So as I've told you, we'll be now looking at two more streams in today's class, or the two more actions that we can perform on the files with the help of streams. So that's what we'll be looking at, something called your reader and writer. So we have something important called a reader and writer. Now, if you could look at this, reader and writer are nothing but your abstract classes. So file reader and yeah, there is difference between file reader and your reader. There is a difference between file writer and a writer. I repeat, there is a writer in Java, there is file writer in Java. There is reader in Java and file reader in Java. But now we are looking at writer. Now, writer, it is basically an abstract class which is used for writing characters to streams. You put values into a stream with the help of your writer. I repeat, I can put values into a stream with the help of writer. That's it. When you wanted to put values into the stream, then you make use of something called your writer. Similarly, when you want to read the values, whenever you want to read the values from a stream, when you wanted to read the values from a stream as characters, then you make use of something called reader. I repeat, Java has reader and writer. Java has reader and writer. Writer is used to write characters to the stream, and reader is used to read the characters from the stream. Now we'll try to look at writer, wherein a writer is basically writer is basically writing some values to the stream. So now what we will do, we instead of accessing the file with the help of a file stream, instead of instead of writing it to the document with the help of your uh, writer, with the help of file stream, we will try to use it with the help of your writer. So till now we have understood, if you want to interact with the file, it is important that you should have this file stream. Without this file stream, you are not able to connect. I repeat, you were not able to put the data into the file, or you were not able to read the data from the file without having something called file IO streams. Without file input stream, without file input stream, and without file output stream, we are not able to read and write the values from a file. हम लोग कुछ वैल्यू को अगर फाइल में डालना है, कुछ वैल्यू को हम लोग फाइल से रीड करना है, तो हम लोगों को ये फाइल इनपुट स्ट्रीम और फाइल आउटपुट स्ट्रीम का जरूरत था. अभी हम लोग राइटर को यूज करके, which means we wanted to write some value to the file with the help of your writer, and we wanted to read some values with the help of reader. In that case, you use something called file reader and file writer. Instead of using your file input stream and file output stream, you have two special things called file writer and file reader. Now, file writer is nothing but a class which will basically write character data to file. File writer will write character data to the file. Now, file stream was writing byte values to the file. File stream was writing byte values to the file. Now my file writer is writing characters to the file. There it was writing bytes to the file. Here it is writing characters to the file. Now if we look at and understand, we'll take up another paint. If you look at, if there is this file, I'm sorry, if there is this file called output file, and I have my program over here. Now if I want to put values from my program to the file, if I want to have some put some values from my file to the output file. In that case, we were using something called file output stream. Now what this file output stream was doing, this is carrying the data in the format of bytes. Now instead of using this method, I'm using my new method called file writer. Now what this file writer will do, will try to write the values in terms of characters. Instead of writing it in bytes, it will now write the values in terms of characters. This is the difference between your file output stream and file writer. Now whenever you want to write some characters, then you need to have writer. I repeat, whenever you want to write some values, then you should have your writer. And where do you want to write it? If you want to write it to a file, then you should need file writer. I repeat, to write the values, you need to have writer. So to write it, you need to have writer. Now when you want to write it onto the file, then you should need file writer. Now I want to write my data. Now we'll just look at, we'll continue writing it in try because my IntelliJ will create an error. So I'm continuing writing it in try. Now what we will do, I will use writer. So we'll just see where this writer exists. We'll just go ahead and import java dot io dot writer. See, which is part of my IO. So as it is part of IO, I need not have to write anything because I can write it as IO dot star. ये मेरा IO के अंदर ही है, तो मैं IO dot star लिख लूंगा ताकि सब कुछ यूटिलाइज कर पाऊंगा. Now here I am writing it in the try. Writer wr equal to new. I want to write it to a file. So instead I should use it writer or write. When I want to use it write, then see it is overriding it. So I cannot use my writer because I cannot write it because I want to write it to a file. Where should I write? I should tell it clearly. So I should write it onto a file. So I should use something called new file writer. I'm using my new file writer. Got it? This is how I want to give my new file writer. Now in this, I will give the path of my file. Whatever the file that I wanted to access, that I will give it over here. Now I'll just go to my path. I'll go to my path and give it as desktop, and I'll call my file as new file. New file.txt. Now what I'll do, I'll just come back here. I'm always taking a new file because you should understand what is the input given, what is the output given. Now I'll go to this and copy the path and place it over here and then give it as new file.txt. Now this is a file that I've got it. Now I'm giving the file name with a complete path. And after that, I just go ahead and give it as string str equals to hello students. This is a string that I've got it. Now after that, I want to use writer in order to write it. I'll put it as writer dot write so that it will write the characters. One by one characters will be written. So in order to do it, we can go ahead and put it as wr.write. We can pass str into this so that one by one characters will be written, and after that I will close my writer dot close so that my writer will be closed. And after that I want to see whether it is properly inserted or not. So I'll put it as system.out.println. Then I'll just go ahead and put it as inserted. This is how I wanted to write my program. Once I now execute this, see the values are inserted. Now once I just go back here and look at my new file, see hello students is placed. Now instead of writing it as byte file, see I haven't declared it as byte. I never declared it as byte. Earlier, whenever you are declaring it as your string str equal to, then you are writing it as your str dot get bytes, so that that string is converted into bytes and byte is given as input. Now I'm not giving it as any input, any byte directly. It is taking it as characters. It will take it as individual characters and it will print. This is how you utilize something called your in your writer, which will write the data directly in the form of characters. Now we use writer in order to write something called your characters into your file directly. You can write your characters directly into your file with the help of your writer and file writer together. Now I wanted to read the value. Once I wanted to read the value, I'll take this off. I'll put it as reader rd equal to, whenever I want to read my value, I will try to go ahead and read my values with the help of my reader. So I'll put it as reader rd equal to new reader. When I wanted to read it as new reader, then obviously it will raise me an error, because what to read it will not be shown. See, you will get all the overridden methods, which I don't want to have it. So what is that you should do? You should tell it clearly that I wanted to read a file. So in order to do that, you will put it as new file reader. Now whatever the path is there, that path should be given over here. As you have been using something called writer equal to new file writer, similarly we will put it as reader equal to new file reader. And then you give the path here. हम लोग यहाँ पे path देते हैं. जैसा हम लोग राइटर का यूज कर रहे हैं, उसी तरह हम लोग रीडर का भी यूज कर रहे हैं. And the name of the file is new file dot txt. This is how we read the file. Reader rd equal to new reader, and we give the path so that the values can be read. And after that, you need not have to do anything. You need not have to get into bytes. You need not have to convert all of that. You can just simply go ahead and do it as your int I equals to, you can just simply put it as rd dot read, so that it will read all the values. Once it reads all the values, you can simply go ahead and put it while your rd, or while you can put it as I, whatever you read it, I is not equal to -1. Till my I value is not equal to -1, I want to execute it. So for that, what is that you need to do? System dot out dot println. You want to print all of them. Now the data that you will get it will be in terms of characters. So I'll put it, will be in the form of characters. Now then we'll put it as I, so that your data that you are getting it will be in the form of characters. So once that is there, then you can just go ahead and read the new character. So it will read individual character. No, all the time it will read my individual character. Whenever I put it as rd.read, it will read my first character. First character get executed. And after that I should read my second character. When I want to read my second character, I'll make it I equals to rd.read. Till I get the last value, I try to read it. I read it continuously. First I read it, then check the condition. If the value is there, it will get printed. Now it will read for the second value gets printed. It will read for the third value gets printed. Whenever you do it I equal to rd dot read, it continuously read next characters. It will read the continuous characters and it will try to give you the output. Once you just go ahead and look at it, see, it will give you the print output. So if you want all of them in the same line, you can make it as print. Once you execute it, See, it is reading every value one after the other. It is reading it for the first time and printing it. After that, it will run in the loop continuously till it reads the last value. If it is reading the last value and if there is no value that is read, then it will be -1. Once it is -1, then your execution will stop and your printing will also stop. This is how you read your characters, right? So this is the way that you read with the help of individual characters with the help of reader and file reader. So the one that we have seen right now are something called sixth one that we have seen now is writer and reader. In turn, this will help us in understanding something called writer and we will see something called writer and file writer as well. We'll see reader and file reader. So if you could look at this file readers and file writers, writer and reader are your streams which will read characters. Till now, whatever we have seen till here, everything was reading it in terms of bytes. Now here in this you are reading it as characters. That's one important difference that we'll have to look at. And the last stream that we are going to look at it today is your buffered reader and your buffered writer. So the last one that we are going to look at today is your buffered reader and buffered writer. Now if you could look at this buffered reader and buffered writer classes will try to provide your buffering instances, buffering values of your writer. I repeat, your buffered writer or buffered reader classes will try to give reader and writer instances of the class. I repeat, ये बफर्ड रीडर जो होता है और बफर्ड राइटर जो होते हैं ये एक राइटर क्लास का और रीडर क्लास का इंस्टेंस देते हैं यानी एक एक डेटा देते हैं. सो बफरिंग डेटा जो होता है वो डेटा हमारा बफर्ड राइटर देता है. जब राइटर यूज कर रहे हैं तो राइटर में जो एक एक वैल्यू होता है वो एक एक वैल्यू को स्ट्रीम करके जब देता है वो हमारा बफर्ड राइटर देता है. जब हम लोग रीडर यूज कर रहे हैं तो एक एक करके हमारा जो वैल्यू पाने के लिए हम लोग बफर्ड रीडर का यूज करते हैं. यू हैव गॉट बफर्ड रीडर and you have got buffered writer. Now we'll try to look at your buffered writer to understand the usage of it. So the last thing that we will learn in readers and writers on the streams, if at all we look at, the last one that we look at is buffered RW. So which is nothing but buffered reader and buffered writer. So we look at it. So in order to write it, write it as we were using there in buffered input stream, buffered output stream, we were using, sorry, yeah, in buffered input stream and in buffered output stream, you were using file input stream and file output stream. As we are using here buffered reader and buffered writer, we should use file reader and file writer. Now I wanted to write into some file. So I will take a file. I'll call the file name as last file. I'll call the name of the file as last file. In the last file, now I wanted to give the data. Now I'm using buffered writer. When I want to place the data, I should use buffered writer. Now when I'm using buffered writer, I should use my file writer. I wanted to use file writer because I'm using buffered writer. So I'll use it as file writer fw equal to new file writer. And in this you can give the path. So I will give the path over here. So in order to, let me take this off. Now the error is removed because it is looking for catch. Right. So file writer fw equal to new file writer. Now we need to give the path over here. So I'll just copy this path for the desktop, and after that I'll give the file name as last file dot txt. We have got last file dot txt. And after that, what is that we wanted to do is, once we have got your file writer, now we wanted to give the buffered writer here. So we'll put it as buffered writer bw equal to new buffered writer. So in this, we will pass our fw, as in we were working with streams. There we were working with streams. Here we are working with writers and readers. There is no difference. There we were calling it as input stream and output stream. Here we call it as reader and writer. So now we are using your fw, which is writing your values in terms of characters. Now we are done with this. And after that, we wanted to write the value. When we wanted to write the value, we will put it as bw dot write. bw dot write. Now we give the string directly here, or we can also call it as, we can also give a string. So we'll just go ahead and give a string str equal to hello students. And then we will put it as str here, so that we will write our bw. Buffered writer is writing this value with respect to individual characters. Once that is over, we will now go ahead and close your bw dot close. Similarly, we can also go ahead and make it fw dot close. This is how you close your file writer, and you will also close your buffered writer. So once that is over, once you execute it, see, I forgot to write your inserted. Once you go ahead and look at the file, see hello students is written. So this is how you insert the value with the help of something called your buffered writer. यहाँ पे हम लोग फाइल राइटर को यूज करते हुए, बफर्ड राइटर को यूज करते हुए हमारा जो स्ट्रिंग है इसमें एक एक कैरेक्टर को लिख रहे हैं। पहले हम लोग जब इसको फाइल इनपुट स्ट्रीम फाइल आउटपुट स्ट्रीम करके जब लिख रहे थे तो वो हमारा बाइट वैल्यूज में लिख रहा था। अभी हम लोग बफर्ड वैल्यूज को हम लोग कैरेक्टर वैल्यूज में दे रहे हैं। So this is an advantage that you have it working with your file writer and your buffered writer. Now we'll try to see the same example for reading it. हम लोग अभी इसी को read करने के लिए देख रहे हैं. So to read the values, now I'll put it as file reader fr equal to new file reader. And here you can give the path of the file. So I'll give the path of the file. And then I'll just close this. I'll give the path as / last file dot txt. And after doing this, after getting this particular value, now we'll try to give it as buffered reader. Buffered reader br equal to new buffered reader. So we are using your new buffered reader in order to read the values. Now once we read the values, we'll have to give the input as your file reader. So whatever the file reader is there, we are trying to give the input of it. So I'll give the input as fr. Got it? Now I've got the file reader as an input. Now it is reading with the help of my buffered reader. Now here it is reading the characters. Now after that, what is that we need to do? We need to take int I, which is trying to read my value. So I can just go ahead and put it as int I, and after that I can just go ahead and put it as it is reading my values, it is a buffered instance, so I'm directly writing it as while I is equal to br dot read, my buffer reader dot read. If this particular value that I'm reading it is not equal to -1, because I'm now using buffer reading. If at all it was file reader, then I would have read first and then applied it. But now as I'm working with my uh, buffered reader here instead of file reader, I'm trying to give it directly in the while loop. So I'll now consider, is there any error here? Not equal to -1. And then we will put it as system dot out dot println, and we'll make it as character of I. So whatever we are reading it, we are converting it into character and printing it. Now after doing it, after printing everything, we'll have to close my buffered reader, which is br dot close. Similarly, I should close my file. So I'll put it as my fr dot close. This is how you close your values. So once you close it, now we just execute it. See, it is reading all the values, that is hello students is being read. Now I'm printing it in a next line, I'll print it in the same line. Once we run this, see, all of them are printed in the same line. This is how you use your buffered reader. So buffered reader will give each instance, and read will give the read of your file operation, that is individual character operation it will give you. So that's your file read and your buffered read operation. So this is how your readers will work. Now the last thing that we have learned now is your buffered reader and writer, where you will have something called your buffered reader and buffered writer. So this is how, these are the different things that you have it. If you could look at the categorization, if you could look at the categorization here, all the above four here, these will read in the form of your values in terms of bytes, and these two will read in the form of your values called characters, and this will read the values standard input and output from the keyboard. So this is how you have your values being read from the streams. This is how you read some values to a file, and this is how you save values to a file with the help of your writers. So with the readers and writers, for saving some value we use writer, to get some values from a file we use reader. If it is with input and output, if you want to put something into the file, then you use output. If you want to read anything from the file, you use something called input. So this is how you work with something called your streams and readers writers. All right. So thank you so much for listening to me. So if you have any questions, please come back to me in the